There for a Danny D interview.
Oh dear. Well, we do have a film crew. We do have P Flax doing interviews and whatnot. So the game is starting. Here we go. Now we are running the stream on a PC with an i3 processor. So if there are any frame drops or lag issues, do make sure you tell us in chat. Then I'll have to drop the resolution down.
Yes,
It,
please do.
it is at 720 right now, but we would prefer to have it at 480 or something, have smooth frame rate than have things jerking around.
Alternatively, I've got
Alternatively,
1080p stream going.
swap to yours. Actually, that won't be a bad idea.
If things do go wrong with the Durka stream, then I have got mine available if people want to view that. At the moment, I'm just using it for recordings, and there comes the penis. Yep.
Okay. That's the thing. If it doesn't work over here, we can just switch to your stream exclusively, and then have me co-cast with you.
Then have fun when Luminous joins in later, and you don't have my stream.
Oh no, that'd be horrible. Or we just do a tricast.
Tricast.
Yeah.
We did. We did that for the grand final of Winterval when we were all drunk. I actually.
Everyone talking over each other.
Yeah, I forgot to record it. Alright, so we are into the picks and bans then. It's going to be Hadoken versus Dench. This is Group A, I believe. I'm not actually sure.
Right, I did just have to mute broadcasters again for some reason. Oh, I've got to change some audio settings in game because it's got very loud music and things. Let's turn the music down, game volume down, voice volume is fine. Right, that should be all good. So here we are in the first game, I do believe, of this. Oh, they're all actually gathered around their computers. I can see one of the teams over there. The Dota Talk UK Amateur Cup at the Trocadero Stadium at Piccadilly Circus now beginning. I've got Matt, JD Blue Knight, sitting behind me. He's going to be my water boy. And I do have my esteemed guest, Rabbit from the UK In-House League and UKDota.net here with me, co-casting. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thank you. How about yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. And here we are, Undying first ban, pretty much as standard, followed by Wisp and then Keeper of the Light. Fourth ban, what are you suggesting? TA, you were saying Magnus, our common bans?
It's got to be Magnus. I'll be very surprised if Hadoken lets Magnus through. If they actually keep up with the way that Dench likes to play as well, it wouldn't surprise me if we see a Rubik ban. I know from the previous tournaments that Farah is very known for playing Rubik and stealing Black Hole pretty much every team fight. He's pretty on it with that, to be honest.
Yeah, in the past couple of weeks, I've seen some very impressive Rubik play. I was talking to Toby about this a while ago. It was HWA against KP, and the just reaction times on some of these Rubik players is incredible. And it's actually Batrider getting banned out here, not the Magnus. Batrider, obviously, a very annoying, irritating hero to deal with on lane, with that sticky napalm stacking up. Darkseer the first pick, and TA the first pick, and Magnus.
This is why the new draft system is so great, because there are certain heroes that you just have to ban because you know against the team, and then you can't first pick something like Magnus because if you do, you're going to let a Darkseer go through, and that's not what you want to do. You do not want to let a Darkseer have full control over your team. So Dench have to pick that one up, and they let the Templar Assassin as well as the Magnus go through, and that was Hadoken's plan from the beginning, hence the Batrider ban.
Yep. And this is why when Lycan came out and he was one of these big first pick, first ban heroes, they actually added a new ban to the system, and then they changed around. Then you have your 3 bans and then 2 bans.
I think they had to have a new ban for when Lycan came out.
All these new heroes coming into the pool, and all the picks fluctuating. No one's picking Viper, no one's picking this, no one's picking Quinks, and things like this. And Lycan was constantly getting picked. He was pushing down towers, and there's the Rubik pick, like you said.
It's going to be a 5 played by Farah, and he's going to steal. So he's probably going to steal reverse polarity and get in there and just use it. It seriously would not surprise me.
Vacuum into RP.
Yeah, this is Farah. Farah likes his fancy tricks on Rubik.
Will he play solo mid, I'm assuming? If he's...
No, he'll be playing number 5.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah. We usually have Doki on the 4, and they tend to run aggressive tri lanes with Farah on the Rubik as well as another stunner half the time. So I wouldn't surprise me if we see something like a Lina pick up for Doki.
So he's actually a skillful 5 player. Usually we see sort of very solid, conservative players on that role, but someone with a bit of flair.
Although he does like to feed solo mid in pubs.
Who doesn't?
I know that from experience. Played on the Smurf at one point called Worst Mid EU. Yep.
Lives up to his name.
Yep.
Now, Lifestealer, here's a hero that we're seeing a lot of recently, influenced by the American CIS sides. When Sven was this big pickup, a lot of teams using him, people are thinking, how do we counter him? How do we counter him? There is no way to counter this massive armor, this stun, this huge ultimate that comes out of him, and the Warcry, which gives all this armor and movement speed. Lifesteal is one of those heroes which you can farm up, and the more tanky the Sven got, the more damage the Lifestealer did. And then it sort of transferred from that into being a sort of pseudo counter to Sven to being a really decent pickup.
And I do remember, big shout out to my friend Holy Cupcake, by the way, who's tuning in. I do remember the description that he always gives to Lifestealer. He absolutely hates playing against him because he describes him as just a time bomb. If you let him get that farm up, whether it's in the safe lane, whether it's in the woods, he's going to most likely destroy your team come late game. Once he gets to about 40 minutes into the game, it's very hard to stop Lifestealer unless you can kite him really well. That's why we'll be seeing the 4 staffs coming out to just try and get away from him. But interestingly enough, we do see Nyx Assassin picked up by Hadoken. At the moment, I'm not sure how they're going to lane this, but I'm guessing that we're going to be seeing a Nyx Assassin support, and then when he gets level 6, he'll obviously start roaming around.
Yeah, we are seeing Nyx come out as this 4 pick. You know, a year ago, we'd see Nyx try to get into the game. About a year and a half, 2 years ago in Dota 1, we see him try to get into the game as a sort of 3 role, possibly 2, playing solo mid. But in Dota 2, he's actually used as a 4, going onto that safe lane support, stunning, stacking, and that spiked carapace causes so much havoc for some heroes in team fights. Small engagement, you try and stun him, you try and attack him, finish him off, spiked carapace is just going to piss you off.
Yeah, and he's very popular in Chinese Dota at the moment. He's pretty much an instant ban, as far as I remember. And he's a perfect COD or counter pick as well.
Oh, yes.
He's Coddle's worst nightmare. But yeah, we will be seeing the Nyx, and as you said, it's not really that Nyx needs farm anymore. With his roaming abilities, as soon as he hits level 6, he can just walk off and do what he wants, and he'll get his farm just from kills. And especially with the way that the metagame changed, which I believe was 6 point something patch. But anyway, the more experience and gold you get from multiple hero kills really helped Nyx Assassin out.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It helps all the supports out, because we did see from the Chinese especially utilising their supports in the forest. They'd be stacking and pulling, gaining experience and gold that way, but with that patch, as you said, the more kills they get, the greater experience and gold gain they've got. And Nyx is one of those heroes which really does benefit from those extra levels.
And overall, it's made for better Dota, because it's less farming and more killing, and that's more entertaining for us to watch.
Definitely more dynamic, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, the bans that came out, interesting enough, we had 3 carries banned out by Dench. They were going to be Luna as well as Faceless Void and Sven. And then we have the solo mid heroes as well as the Jakiro banned out by Hadoken. We have the Queen of Pain and the Invoker banned out. So, still, I don't really know what Dench are going to pick up here. I'm probably going to guess either their 4 or their solo mid. We do have Darkseer, which is probably going to be in the offlane. We'll see the Rubik and the Lifestealer go together, and then we'll see what they want to put together with that. And for Hadoken, they just need to get another support in their offlane, unless they decide to put Magnus there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, their laning is pretty much open, but the Lifestealer most likely going to go into that safe lane. We do not see Lifestealer going to the forest in competitive games. It just isn't worth it. You do get some nice gold in there, get your fast Midas around 6.5, 7 minutes, but on the lane you can do so much more damage. Interestingly enough, Sankin gets picked up.
This is a pretty uncommon pickup, and it can end up backfiring for Hadoken in a sense, because if Sanking gets in there with an epicenter and you see the reverse polarity coming out and everyone's standing around, then Sanking's locked in position destroying Magnus as well as everybody else. But the Viper pick, this is something I've seen before. This is played by Hads, and it will be their hard carry, so I'm absolutely uncertain what they're doing in the lanes right now. But they do like playing Hads' Viper in the number 1 role. So now I'm very confused. Unless we do see a Lifestealer in the woods, but as you said, that's very unlikely. I mean, he's a lot of players see him as strong in the woods, but he's really weak in there. He's a very slow jungler.
Well, yes, it's the XP gain, really. I mean, the gold you can make up for, XP not so much. Even with the Midas, you're going to be lacking behind on the hard carry in the other team if you stay in the jungle. If you're staying on lane, you're getting every single creep from each wave, possibly getting a couple of kills depending on who you're up against. Most likely the Bounty Hunter will be up there on that hard lane for Hadoken. But who's their 5th pick going to be? And Viper. Where do you reckon he's going to lane? Solo mid as their hard carry? I don't know.
I do think solo mid, but he doesn't know who he's up against yet. It's either going to be TA or Magnus. If he's against TA, he's going to have quite an easy time. But
Magnus as well. I mean, range slow against that melee. Even though Magnus does have that nuking power and able to last hit with his shockwave, Viper is going to be able to harass him down for the entirety of the laning phase, basically.
And Hadoken's lanes are also pretty open. What you'd most likely see in the circumstance where they picked up TA Magnus would be TA going mid and Magnus on the off lane. But now they've got the Bounty Hunter picked up. Does that open some questions? Are they going to put TA in the safe lane with the supports, have Bounty on the off lane and Magnus in the middle? They're going to put Bounty in the safe lane with the supports. It's absolutely unknown what they're going to do at this point.
Well, the Bounty Hunter really is a good pickup against the Sand King, but he doesn't really do much else for their team.
It depends. Well, they've got Nyx. He can roam around with Nyx quite a bit once they're both level 6. But the question is, are they really going to be able to get those kills off? You have people like Sand King and Viper who are very hard to take down.
Lifesteal as well with his rage. Rubik able to disrupt everything, and there's, talking of disruption, there's Shadow Demon. It really did have to be a ranged support hero that came out for them, but Shadow Demon's an interesting one. Possibly trying to get rid of that Sand King initiation possibilities from Burrow Strike into ulti, or ulti into dagger into Burrow Strike. Disrupt your allied hero. Obviously that skill can be used offensively as well as defensively. Cast it on your allied hero, protect them from whatever's incoming. But I don't know how they're going to lane this. Let's find out. It does look like Darkseer will be heading down to that off lane. Viper going top with the Rubik. Or are they just going to go and safeguard that pull spot so the enemy don't ward it?
And it's actually pretty interesting that we're seeing Mesmerize on the Viper. This is not what I expected because I do know Dench is a team. And I did expect Hads to be playing it, but Hads is going to be taking up the Nakes, as you said. If we do run through the teams real quick, as he said, he's Mesmerize going to be playing the Viper. Doki's going to be playing on the Sand King. We've got Farah, who's going to be playing the support Rubik. Hads is going to be playing that hard carry in the form of Lifesteal. And on the off lane, of course, it's going to be Sadire. Doesn't have the wards to block the pull camp, but he's going to have a search in the jungle anyway.
Yeah, and over on Hadoken, we've got Rizaki on the Nyx, War Writer on that Templar Assassin. We've got Kara on the Shadow Demon. Is that IP Man on the Magnus, and on the top lane, Bounty Hunter, Death Roll Reaper.
So yeah, it will be a Bounty Hunter off lane. But now, I'm wondering who they're going to throw mid. I'm guessing Templar Assassin because she really doesn't have that much synergy alongside the Nyx Assassin and the Shadow Demon. Whereas Magnus, they might be able to do something with him. But again, if they put Magnus in his tri lane, then he's going to really lack the experience that he needs.
He needs that quick level 6, possibly go towards those arcane boots. But then, are we going to see him go for more of a carry-orientated build, skip the arcanes, go into possibly treads, go for some damage output rather than that initiation and dagger? But then that leaves things open in team fights. How are they going to actually initiate? Are they going to go in for the skewer RP rather than that more common dagger into RP into skewer, try and get those heroes out of the fight back into your teammates? And we do see a Trillian up top with that lifestealer as we expected, Viper solo mid and the Darkseer on that off lane.
Yeah, so it is going to be pretty standard lanes, 3 versus 1 on both sides. But it is going to be the Magnus going solo mid for Hadoken, and he's going to be up against Viper, and he's not going to have a nice time in this lane. He's going to have to use his shockwave as much as possible just to get the last hits, just as he did there. But again, Temper Assassin really needs this experience, and running it with a tri-lane, such as Shadow Demon and Nyx Assassin, then she's really not going to get as much.
Yeah, Nyx is really going to have to pull it out here, get all these stacks and pulls off. Luckily the Darkseer, no wards down there to block that off, so they're going to have to try and gain as much experience as gold as they can down there. How's Magnus doing at the mid? He has expended a lot of mana there, casting Shockwave, as you said, to last hit those creeps. Viper trying to harass him down, but Magnus staying just out of range of that, so he's doing quite well in that regard. And up on top, Bounty Hunter. Have there been sentries dropped? No? No sentries dropped, so he is clear to come up towards X, but there is a lane ward there from the Dire, spotting him out.
And Farah, of course, he is holding sentries on him, so Benty does have to be careful. The Sand King is nearby as well if he wants to come in for the gank. And at the moment, Sand King's just stacking it, and actually, Doki is coming round from behind now. They're going to place his sentry, and this is a right-click battle going on between Farah as well as Deathholt. And the sentry's not down yet, but Doki's there. There it's placed. Boros Strike's coming out from him. Right-click's coming out from Rubik. We expect the lift. There it is. He's going to get pulled back. Sanking's going to keep on trying to right-click him down, but it's not going to be enough damage. They just don't have the lifesteal there to help right-click him down, and he's going to live with 180 HP. Just going to tango up and carry on just trying to farm experience.
Yeah, lifestealer level 2 there. He could have had open wounds for that possible first blood, but he wasn't close enough, taking those last hits rather than coming in for that kill. And do we have the bottom there for Magnus? That's really going to help him out. What kind of runes do we have up? Yep, Shadow Demon with Invis coming around here. Has the Darkseer gone into the forest? Yeah, he is stacking that small camp. That's a smart move there. He can't get anything much done down here. The Shadow Demon was just zoning him out, keeping him back at his tower, so he's headed off into the forest, triple stack that, and he's going to get a lot of experience.
Yeah, this is really good teamwork coming out from Dench, actually. I noticed earlier that Sand King was actually stacking this small camp, so Sadaya, who is the captain for Dench, sorry, I don't think he is, I don't know, I can't remember. But anyway, he must have called the call, you know, I'm not going to be able to do it against this tri-lane, I need some experience somewhere, but hang on a second, solo mid, we do have the Shadow Demon coming in, the disruption is going in onto Mesmerize, and oh god, the bad timing there on the skewer. That's pretty
Well,
unfortunate.
half a second missed time there. If they got that skewer down off that ramp, the bounty hunter with the haste coming in as well, that would have been 3-on-1. Viper would have gone down there, but slightly mistimed by that Magnus, missing another first blood opportunity. The
Uh,
nerves. It must be the nerves. On LAN, you know, some people just don't perform as they would online.
I was just about to say, it's probably, I reckon pretty much every single player at this event, it's going to be their first LAN.
Yeah.
So they're all going to be pretty nervous right now. And you can expect mistakes to happen. But one as big as a miss skewer, which would have guaranteed first blood, that's a pretty big mistake.
Most certainly. And we do have the Docs here continuing to stack these camps with his Iron Shell on them. He's going to search himself back to base, region up. Has his Sol Ring completed? No, he does not have his Sol Ring completed. He's not far off that though. Signals come out here, Bounty Hunter saying they are pulling this camp. I can't do anything. They are keeping this lane so well controlled, but it does have the double range creep, it does have the double wave of melee creeps now, so it most likely will push out towards the Bounty Hunter's advantage, get him some experience, get him up past level 1, which he's been stuck at for quite a while now.
It's really fortunate that Dench actually have the Darks here, because something that Bounty can't do is if he starts to fail this top lane, then he can't go into the woods and get levels. He has to sit here and just try not to die. And it's such a shame, and he might actually get dived if they're not careful. There are 4 heroes up here. They are going to try and take this tier 1 tower down as soon as possible. We have the Darks here rotated up as well, just using that ice shell to push the wave.
In fact, was this planned? They do have the siege counterpart there, the siege creep, and that obviously comes out on the 3-minute mark. So they did that single pull on the 2.5-minute mark to try and get the siege creep out with a double wave. So it's entirely possible that this was a planned push here. A very smart move if it was so.
But the bottom lane, we actually see Shadow Poison at level 1 for the Shadow Demon, and they've actually pushed a lot more effectively. Then they're working on the tier 2 tower, while Dench have only just taken out the tier 1. It looks like they're just going to simply have a base race, because there's no TPs going anywhere for either team. The Fortified does come out from Dench.
They really have to, and they're going to have to start TPing down here. They can't let another tier 2, they can't let a tier 2 fall. That's so much gold going towards these supports. Nyx and Shadow Demon, who really do lack behind if they are not getting these last hits. If they're not stacking and pulling, the gold income is really, really worth it for them. Dark's here, heading down towards there. His TP scroll, unfortunately, in his stash. He does have his Sol Ring completed.
And that's a tier 2 tower. Completely undefended. They used the Fortify for it and didn't do anything with it. We do have a smoke gang coming out in the middle of the lane though. Farah's leading away with Doki just behind him. They are going to try and go on to Magnus. Viper doesn't yet have his ultimate for the slow, and the smoke's just wasted.
Yeah, Rubik comes out and also hits a creep.
That's a salve up as well.
What do we have for the lifestealer? Is that his Midas completed? He has the recipe, but he does not have the full Midas, even though he had free farm. I suppose that will be coming in the next couple of minutes. Sand King and Rubik hang around at the tier 1 at mid.
I want to get this Magnus, but he does have reverse polarity available, so he should be pretty much free to get away. In fact, we do see the smoke rotation coming up. There are 4 heroes mid here for Hadoken. They're going to instantly go on, and there's the reverse polarity. Sand King actually burrow striking into that one, and that will be first blood. Nyx Assassin's going to pick that one up. Farah's going to go down on the side, and there goes Mesmerize as well. 3 very effective kills for the cost of nobody by Hadoken, and this
tier 1 as well,
is going to be the tier 1. Great counter gang coming up. They knew 3 heroes were mid, so they just completely countered it. And now Hads is going up against Bounty Hunter in the top lane as well, but there's not going to be any action here. Bounty Hunter's just trying to annoy Hads. Trying to sell on Midas. But as far as the farm goes as well, we do see a big advantage coming out from the Templar Assassin. She's managed to out-farm the Lifestealer up in the top lane. If we look at the gold graph, it's going over 3,000 already.
That's a huge spike from that tier 1, tier 2 at bot, now the tier 1 at mid after that triple kill. There's a lot of gold income coming very quickly for them. There's a 3,600 gold advantage.
Oh, this could be interesting. LP man actually has an invis rune here in the middle lane. He's got level 4 up in that shockwave, but only 2 points in the skewer, and he might try and find himself a solo kill. But with that reverse polarity, I don't think he's going to be able to. But they are looking for lifesteal. I think the dive's going to come down. There are 4 heroes going to be top lane for Hadoken in a second. And the pings are going down. The wards have spotted them, and Farah's here to support. But he's got to be very careful. There's a lot of bursts that can come down from this team.
I'm just going to check chat quickly.
In fact, they find the Darks here in the woods. Sadire is going to run. Disruptions come down. He's already used his surge, and that will be the death of him. Shadow Demon getting to pick up there with the Shadow Poison.
Yeah, apparently there's quite a bit of lag on my stream, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to continue using this computer.
If you want to link people to mine, it is up and running.
Yep.
At the moment, you're gonna have to sort it out for later on, though, man. Can't hold your hand all day, dude.
Well, with an i3 processor, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stream out on this computer at all. If the hardware's not up to scratch. But yeah, we are seeing 5-man push-up on this top lane.
Yeah, 5-man Dota at 7 minutes into the game. Pretty interesting. We do actually see the Soul Catcher coming out on Farah. And that Shockwave, half of his health with a level 4 Shockwave. Reverse Polarity, that will be the death of him. And Doki's going to go down as well. 2 very easy kills. And now Hads is trying to TP out with Rage. The Vacuum will save him just in time. Great play coming out from Sadire. But it will be the death of him. But saving their hard carry is really his intention. And he's done it perfectly here.
Yeah, and that's 6 for 0 for the Radiant side. Viper comes in from the side, casts off his ultimate on that Nyx. But he will fall down here. Nyx will die first. Will the Viper actually get away? Track comes out. Sankin comes in. Burrow strikes that. Magnus. Slow comes out from the TA. Viper will die. Shockwave. A couple more right clicks.
This is manic.
Oh, Skewer comes out here. Rubik tries to save his mate Sanking.
He's going to get lifted. That's a lot of damage coming out from Temporary Assassin though. Is that a mana she can't afford to use Refraction right now, but it's not going to matter. Also, Death Toll very close to going down, but the score now is 9 for 1. Big advantage coming out from Hadoken. And the gold graph, nearly 6k. And the XP as well, that's up to 3,000 as well now. Big advantage coming out from Hadoken. If we have a look at the current levels, which I can't remember what hockey is. Yeah, they've got level 8 up on the Temper Assassin as well as the Magnus. So we was worried about TA not getting experience, but she's currently the highest experienced hero on the map.
I'm going to have to take the stream down for just a couple of seconds, and I'm going to change resolution. If that does not work, then we're going to have to link you to Rabbit Stream, and he'll be streaming out in, what, 1080p you said?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, nice one. Yep.
I'm running on an i3 as well.
Seriously?
Yeah. I've just redone Windows, and I have like the entire hard drive open, and there's no programs pretty much on this computer at the moment, so it's really neat, fairly smooth.
Okay. Resolution change.
They do actually manage to get a denying top lane. Has managed to pick that one up. He does have his Midas now, and he's gone for a magic wand, but he really needs to start farming up these power treads. He's not going to be able to survive if the gang, if more ganks happen on him pretty soon. He's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. What's the gold experience graphs like now? Oh,
7.5 to 3. Yeah. Huge advantage going away. Hadoken. Actually, Sadai nearly goes down to the jungle creeps. Felt a lot of pain there. Farah as well as Doki clean that one up.
We do have the TA continuing to farm on that bot lane. Has Dagger, has FaZe. Anything else, or is that the entirety of her items? Yep. We've got Wards heading up towards that top lane for the Shadow Demon, who has his Arcane Boots completed already, 10 minutes in. Bounty Hunter, FaZe Boots, as well as 1,600 gold. All that track gold coming from these engagements. Mid, Nyx, using Carapace, stunning, mana burning, and SK drops down pretty quickly. TA blinks in, reverse polarity on the Viper. Sanking gonna escape here, most likely. Nope. He does get finished off by that TA, and Viper will fall as well. Disruption goes out on him. Nyx misses him, is impaled because of it, but that does not change the outcome one bit.
I was actually watching the middle lane for a little while there, and we did see that Hadoken had the right idea that wanted Rayu's, I can't pronounce that name, the Nyx Assassin to get his level 6. He was sitting at level 5.5, and he was just sitting middle, and we had the Sand King as well as the Shadow Demon above. Sorry, we had the Sand King as well as Rubik above. And Sand King, unfortunately, is only level 4, so the Burrow Strike just wasn't in range. And the Viper, he did hit Nyx Assassin when he had Spike Carapace on. And then the rotation was just so fast for Hadoken. They managed to catch the Viper in reverse polarity and just completely melted him. And of course, TA, already having a Blink Dagger, managed to pick him off. And we just see LP Man try and blink behind and skewer back. The farm is just so big for Hadoken right now. Double Blink Daggers coming out from their team already.
Yeah, it's getting pretty ridiculous now.
And also, Bention is trying to actually manage to find that space on the top lane. He's up to level 7 now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh dear. Has that crashed my Dota 2? I think it has.
He streams down anyway.
Casting.
I'll continue casting. At the moment, Dench are stuck in their tier 2 Terran, pretty scared. They have all 5 heroes here, and Hads is not finding any space to farm right now. He doesn't even have his power treads complete. And it's just 5-man Dota coming in from both teams, and Dench, they have to take the fights, but they're going to struggle so hard. The dives are going to come pretty easy. Reverse polarity is up in 20 seconds. If Hadoken can hold out, then this is going to be an easy fight for them, but it doesn't look like they even want to. They're just going to pop the TA trap straight away. Track's going out on Sand King, who's still only level 4, so no epicenter is going to be coming out from him in this fight. And the Shadow Poison is just going to keep giving vision. That's courtesy of Kara. And Dench just cannot find any space. They can't leave their tier 2 Terror in mid lane. If they do that, they do have a ward watching this, a very well placed ward. So they do know that LP Man's there, ready for the reverse polarity. He does have his Blink Dagger up, and this is why the tracks are coming out. to see if he can get that 5-man reverse polarity if possible. But Dench doing the smart thing and they're spreading out. In fact, Hads does go to top lane. He knows he needs to get a farm up, but this could be the end of the team fight. The tier 2 Terry is definitely going to get down if they're not careful. Track coming out again on Darkseer this time. Who has that wall available, level 6. Interesting that he's gone for the wall this early and not more points in that vacuum. The vacuum range is so small right now, 250 radius. It's just really not going to be effective in the team fights right now. And next is up to level 6, so he has Vendetta available. But again, it's just Turtle Dota coming now from Dench. Hads is finding space to farm, but they're going to lose this fight. They're going to either lose the fight or lose the tier 2 tower. And at the moment, Spike Carapace is coming out from Nyx Assassin, but just mesmerized as well as his team. All of Dench, they're just very scared right now. And so they should be. Double Blink Dagger. Magnus can easily get a good skewer into reverse polarity here. And now Hads is rotating down. He knows he needs to be with his team. He's got his power treads finished. And he's hoping that that's going to keep him alive. But at the moment, still only level 8 and only 1100 life points. We see even Death roll up to level 8 now. And he was playing the off lane. Temper Assassin as well as Magnus are both up to level 9. And they're most likely the highest levels on the map right now. In fact, yes they are. But yeah, just Dench have absolutely no space to farm at all. They are not able to leave a tier 2 Terror, and this is a real struggle. They have to turtle, and they're just chipping away at the Terror Hadoken. And Dench, they're really struggling right now. They can't take the fire, and they know they can't. They just don't have the levels on the heroes. Disruption does go out on the Darkseer. Hads, he used that rage, but we do have a Vendetta Nyx coming in. They're going to go on the Sand King, who's going to die pretty much instantly. In fact, that burst coming out from Nyx Assassin alone was nearly enough to kill him off. Blink into Skewer onto Pharah. This will be the death of him. Very easily goes down. Mesmerize using the ulti on top of the Bounty Hunter, but not enough damage coming out from him yet. Shadow Poison is going out. They're still trying to keep vision on the enemy heroes. They're possibly looking to dive the base right now, but they're not going to go in just yet. Hadoken are going to rotate up to top lane. And then they're just going to farm up. 1 second, I'm just going to... Oh my god, the link's disabled. Just linking people to my stream right now. Saraya. Still only level 6, only that level 1 vacuum. He's really not doing anything in these fights. This is the problem with Dench's lineup, is that Hadoken, although their heroes relatively need farm, once they get those Blink Daggers up on the Temper Assassin as well as the Magnus, they have enough to take the team fights. And whereas Dench, they have heroes that really need levels. You have Sand King, who's still only level 5, not got that Epicenter available yet. We have a Darkseer who's level 6 and very nearly dead for some reason. And as well, Pharah, I don't think he has spell steal yet. No, he's only level 5 himself. So these heroes that really need levels up on Dench's team, they just can't find the space at all. And they are just losing their base. Everything is going away over Hadoken in this game so far. Over 10,000 gold in 15 minutes and 5,000 experience going away over Hadoken now. The score's 13-1. And at 15 minutes into the game, they're already trying to push into the base. All the tier 2 towers have gone for Dench. In fact, the tier 2 tower on bottom lane was gone within the first 5 minutes, I believe. With that very effective tri-lane in the works. They just had no defense at all. Darkseer had to rotate into the woods because he couldn't survive the lane. And that means the Temper Assassin, as well as the Nyx and the Shadow Demon, just easily push those 2 towers at bottom lane. In fact, they're going to look for the Shadow Demon here. They're going to try and find whatever pick up the camp, but the rotation's here. War Rider's ready. He can just blink him whenever. They know the sentry ward's up there now. They have one of their own. And this is going to be an easy clear off for them. If Kari doesn't miss every hit. There we go. But yeah, it's still 5-man Dota. We have the Nyx Assassin, who's still in this. He's actually nearly got the Dagon complete. Be interested if he does get that done. Interesting enough, Hads still farming away. He's going for his armlet, and he's getting fairly close as well. He did manage to find space to push, and Dench are actually doing a pretty effective job here. I think Hadoken need to get a bit more farm up on their heroes. Right now, they're still trying to push into the base. And although I mentioned earlier that they have the levels they require to do so, I don't think they have enough gold just yet to dive the base. They're going to take way too much damage from these tier 3 towers. And meanwhile, Hads is just finding the space. And the question, as soon as they go missing, as soon as the Hadoken go missing now, Hads will have the knowledge that they are gone. And that they are probably coming for him. So he's just going to sit in lane, he's going to push. He has a TP scroll and he has his rage available if he wants to get away. He should have a fairly easy job doing so. And I've got to make sure I'm not being phoned. Oh no, Durka's still in the chat. Okay. Not sure what is going on with Durka's computer at the moment. He said he was having troubles with the stream right now. But he should be back fairly soon. But at the moment, for those who don't know, I'm Rabbit and I'm solo casting Dota Talk and I'm not even there. Hello. But yeah, traps coming out from TA, just trying to keep the vision. And Farah, he's nearly got the level 6, but I'm not sure what he wants right now. Would like to get that Shadow Poison for the counter push, but Kara's never going to be in range for that. And there's a Sentry Ward watching Nyx right here. They know he's invis, they know he's got Vendetta, they know he wants kills. And Sanking's still not level 6 either, we see no EP. A trap coming out on Farah. The dive is going. The reverse polarity actually misses. Vacuum coming out from Darkseer as well as the wall, but the wall's misplaced and he's not going to get anyone. Farah's going to go down very quickly here, and so is Sadire. We see the Boros Strike coming in from Sanking. Buyback instantly by Darkseer. The Nyx Assassin did go down at the back there. Kara popping out the ulti, and LT takes a lot of damage as well. And this is really bad for Hadoken. Full team wipe coming out. Mesmerized with a triple kill on the Viper. Sadire got the double kill after the buyback on his Darkseer. And as I mentioned earlier, I just don't think they had enough gold to dive. And Hadoken got too impatient. They dove the tier 3 tower and it paid badly for them. Farah managed, they picked up Farah immediately as well as Sadire's Darkseer. But Sadire, he bought back, he got a double kill out of the wall. And we see the Viper again, a triple kill there. And this is going to be a big swing in the gold graph. It's going to pretty much spring 2,000 back the way of Dench. We do, of course, see the buyback. Oh god, suddenly sound.
Sorry. Yep.
Are you back in the game yet?
No, I'm connecting back in now. Things just went to shit pretty quickly.
Right.
I decided to close down and then I've tried to get it back up. How's the game going? I can hear you talking. I've heard that they're trying to push into the base.
Yeah, Hadoken just got wiped. They dived the tier 3 tower and Viper got a triple kill. It was a 5-for-2 exchange in the end. So yeah, it wasn't a good decision by Hadoken there. They just haven't got the farm yet. They have the drums from Magnus, and then the smoke gank's actually going to come out. We see Nyx Assassin roaming around. He nearly has his Dagon complete. They're all smoked up. They're looking for heroes. They know that Mesmerize is farming in the middle lane. He has his point boost to complete, but not much else apart from Ring of Aquila. And now Doki's got a really important level 6. So we might see an epicenter to this fight.
In fact, mid getting initiated upon.
Soulcatcher actually missed him, but it's going to be enough damage either way. See a kill for the Bounty Hunter, and that was track gold. And once again, they're going to try and push into the tier 3. Without the Darkseer. Oh, actually, no, the rotation is going to go down for Roshan. But as you can see, triple wards coming out here. We see the Sand King come down just a moment ago. But they are going to D-ward. Are they going to D-ward this? No, they're just going to put an observer in their own. But yeah, 3 wards watching this. And Dench, they have to be ready with this rotation. This is a very fast Roshan. With the meld, as well as the damage coming out from Overpower. There's pretty much no armor on Roshan. It's actually a -5. And it's such a fast Roshan. But we do have Doki here. The Shadow Poison, he's going to spot him out from Kara. But that's going to be Roshan done. Temper Assassin's going to get the Aegis. And Doki, he's going to get picked off if he's not careful. In fact, the open wound's coming out on the Temper Assassin. Doki gets a really nice Burrow Strike. Unfortunately, he's going to get disrupted. And there goes the reverse polarity as well. But Nyx Assassin taken down really quick. Doki's going to go down as well. He did actually use Epicenter, but the disruption stopped it. And Farah, this is what I was talking about. He steals reverse polarity. He catches the Bounty Hunter, and that will be the death of him. And they actually managed to take the Aegis from TA. Hads is in the middle of the fight still. He's trying to survive through TA's burst, and he might actually do so. He hides inside of Mesmerize, and the disruption goes down. Farah is actually trying to chase that wall right here, who does go invisible from the melt, so they can't find him. And Mesmerize is still trying to chase an LP man. And LP man can be in a lot of trouble here. Hads does pop ahead of him, and that will be another kill for Mesmerize. And once again, a great team fight coming out from Dench. Hadoken, they did manage to take down Roshan as well as pick up the Aegis, but the steal from reverse polarity managed to get the Aegis down on the Temper Assassin as well as to pick up on the Bounty Hunter. And I believe the Nyx went down at the start and the Magnus at the end as well, so a very convincing fight coming out from Dench. And once again, it's just Hadoken. They are fighting, but they're not fighting in the correct position. There was no epicenter in that fight, bear in mind. He did try and use it, but the disruption. In fact, the pickup going out from Warrider. Do they have any vision here? No, they're just going to try and iron shut him down. There goes the Boros Strike, and that will be the death of Warrider. Getting caught out of position, and that's 3 deaths in just a few seconds for Warrider. He died, lost the Aegis, died again, bought back, and died once more. And TA, sitting on no gold as expected, did manage to buy the BKB up. And that's going to be a big purchase for her. But once again, a big fight going away of Dench. Interesting enough, the gold graph, it's starting to swing down a bit more. But they have a lot of work to do if they want to bring this one back. And the XP graph, though, however, it's getting close to even again.
More engagements like that is going to work out pretty well for them.
There is so much music and gamer base right now.
Sorry, what?
There's a lot of music in your background right now. Nah, you don't need to mute. Have you got a volume mixer by any chance? I think there might be mic boost or something that you can turn off. But I'm not sure. We do see Nyx Assassin coming in with a Vendetta. He wants to fight Mesmerize. I believe he's been spotted though. The TA trap will go off. Mesmerize, he's going to get caught by Vendetta. The Impale coming out as well. But there's Doki with the Burrow Strike. And in fact, there's a great reverse polarity coming in from LP, man. And that's going to be a triple kill with one Melt Strike coming in from Warwriter. Fantastic initiation coming in from LP, man. And it was all from Ryuzaki, I believe his name is, just hunting down the Viper. And this will most likely be the tier 3. We do see Mesmerize buyback. That's going to put him a little bit further behind on his Aghanim Scepter. And the question is, will Hadoken still want to push him with a buyback from Viper? And it looks like they do. And Mesmerize, he has that ulti available, and it's a level 2 ulti as well. He's actually caught up in the levels quite well. And Hads is actually the highest level on the map right now. He's just regenerating. He has his armlet. He's going for his bash. He's very close. Vacuum coming in from Sarah. The wall's there as well. But no follow-up. And Hadoken are going to very wisely back off on this one.
Defending that tier 3 is pretty much their priority now. Don't let them get into the base. Try and get gold up on this Viper. Get that Dark Seer. Get his levels up. Level 2 ultimate.
Skewer.
Oh, Skewer coming out here.
And Meld once again. It's going to kill the Sand King instantly. No epicenter again for this fight. Ryuzaki, although he's taking a lot of damage here, that will be the death of Farah going down. And the disruption actually coming down here. And Hads, he's just starting to tear through people. Hads has got items and it's showing. Ryuzaki as well as LP man very nearly taken in. But Warrider is going to manage to pick off everyone else. And now he's just Haz left alive. He's trying to find a kill where he can. He does manage to find one. He doesn't have Infest available, so he's going to have to run away with the Rage popped here. And they're chasing him. They want him. Kara though, he's going very deep. In fact, the buyback coming out from Sanking and he could pick up Kara. Yeah, the Terror's going to kill him. And I believe Doki did get some experience for that one. But yeah, once again, a bit of a dive going to Hadoken, but they did manage to get the win on that fight. And simply because Dench left the base. The wall failed, and then they all went out the base to fight. And that was probably the biggest mistake they could have made at that point.
Yeah, the Burrow Strike and the Sand King did look pretty good getting that initiation off, but there was no follow-up for them. The Lifestealer managing to get lots of DPS off in the latter moments of that fight, getting that Bounty Hunter down, almost killing the Nyx, and ran away with about 100 hit points on him. TA, just so much DPS coming out of her, and Magnus obviously with that Empower giving her even more. Yeah,
we are seeing most fights, the Warwriters pretty much getting himself lined up perfectly for Meld. When we saw the reverse polarity coming out in mid lane a few moments ago and the triple kill, it was just one shot from Meld and everybody died. The Sideblade's doing that pure damage, of course. And this time, it's just the pair of Magnus. He manages to skewer 2 people out of position. We had the Sand King sitting just outside the base here. He was in Sandstorm, so the Magnus thought, you know what, I may as well get this guy. He blinks behind him, he skewers him, he grabs another hero as well, and it forces Dench to leave the base and fight. Otherwise, they lose 2 heroes and can't do anything about their tier 3 tower. And thus, they lost the fight. Yeah, they are looking for the rotation. They do want to find LP, man. He's actually only sitting on 500 HP, so he does have to be careful. We did see the line drawn down this way, so they are looking to chase for sure.
You can see the little twitch. He was thinking, should I take these jungle creeps here? Mud Golem, sod it, I'm just going to run away. I can't nuke them down with my shockwave.
Mesmerize is very close to getting revealed here. Sadire's coming range, the smoke's brought off, but LP man has no idea. They have no high ground vision. Farah's going to lift him up. Vacuum's going to come in as well. There's a lot of burst, but the skewer, he manages to get away quite easily. Dench is going to chase, but he's going to be able to blink out. Kara's here with a disruption. And that's a very quick death for Farah. Warwriter getting so much damage coming in from him. And Mesmerize is going to drop very easily. This Temper Assassin is starting to snowball. And here comes the epicenter by Doki. It's a huge epicenter. The wall's on top of it, but it's still not enough damage. Reverse Polarity is going to come out. Doki's going to go down. And Sadara as well. And that's going to be a full team white ultra kill coming out from Warrider. And this Temper Assassin is suddenly huge. I actually had the Chrysalis for that fight.
Yeah, what could have been a huge pick-off for this Dire team turned into a full team wipe. I mean, they could have picked off that Magnus, but getting that skewer off, then dagger over the trees, the TA coming from behind, picking off each and every one of those supports. It did look like a really good Burrow Strike into epicenter there with that wall on top doing lots and lots of damage, but the Tempo Assassin managing to pick people off, finish them off, and an ultra kill is very worth his time. Here, Rubik, is he going to get picked off by the TA? No, he's just going to finish off those creeps, try and push into this tier 3. And they do have a wave pushing mid, and the lane at bot is pushing as well with 4 of those ranged creeps, so that is going to pressure into this Dire base.
Funny enough as well, the 4-man smoke gank that was just for LP, man. He didn't even die. He managed to blink out the way. They just used disables on him, and he still had his blink dagger up. Which is very interesting. But again, Hadoken are trying to push in, and TA has no health here. She does have refraction, but she's got to be careful because Mesmerize can rip through that so easily. But then if you actually look at the hero levels, it's interesting enough that Lifestealer is the highest level on the map right now. That will be coming around from the Midas. He does actually have his Armlet as well as his Skull Basher complete. So he does have a lot of damage coming out from right now, but the question is whether he can do enough to stop this Temper Assassin, who not only has a Blink Dagger, but she has a Crystallis, a BKB, and the Demon Edge if she wishes to buy it right now. In fact, the courier is flying out to the secret shop. That will be a Demon Edge for her. And that's very nearly a Daedalus complete. And if that Daedalus gets complete anytime soon, which it will, then Dench can see themselves in a lot of trouble. One Sideblade crit coming out of Farah will destroy him. He has a Bracer and 3 branches. He does have TA traps at the moment, which is why we're seeing these pop down now.
Well, the Sand King as well, they're pretty much equal on HP and armor. It's going to demolish both of them. Even so, the Viper, very little on his items. He's got his Ogre Club and Point Booster. He was looking to try and get a quick Aghanims, but that really isn't happening now. Probably going to try and get a BKB or something if things start looking up for him. But they really are relying on this Lifestealer and possibly a big Darkseer wall into Vacuum, try and pick off as many as they can. But these teamfight engagements really do favour the Radiant side. RP, TA with the amount of DPS she's got and the Bounty Hunter running around with that BKB, they can't really touch him.
But the thing is right now, if Hadoken come into the base, then they will probably lose the fight. Dench have that turtle ability. They have a Sand King who can sit back in their base and epicenter in. Oh, see that shot from Meld.
Eviscerated.
Shot from Meld,
She's gone.
as well as the crit coming in from Benny, and that's just the death of him. But as I was saying, Dench have a turtle lineup here. They have epicenter which they can use inside the base. They have the wall. It's going to be so hard for Hadoken to push in. But of course, if Darkseer gets picked off in the woods, then he's in a lot of trouble. We do actually see sorry, is it Had's playing Lifestealer? It is, isn't it? Yeah. Had's TP'd out from the forest there as he nearly got caught by all 5 heroes of Hadoken. And now here comes another attempted push on that tier 3 tower in top lane. It's relentless pushes coming out from Hadoken. They don't want to give any space to this Lifestealer at all because he is the highest level in the game right now. And most likely the richest is, we just have a look at the net worth. He's very close to the TA who's only about 100 gold ahead. It's interesting really when TA is sitting on 16 kills and Had's is sitting on 1 and yet TA is only 100 gold ahead. It goes to show the power of the hand of Midas on Lifestealer.
The only thing here for the Radiant side is that their previous push, where they attempted to go through mid and did win that fight, but they couldn't go and breach the base, they did have their other lanes pushing in, whereas now their lanes are actually pushing towards them. So I don't know if they would prefer to go back to the mid, push that out a bit, bot, get that farm up, push that all the way into the base and then try and split push, because they really can't, like you said, engage 5 on 5 trying to push into the base. They can't breach that with the Lifestealer dealing the amount of damage he can, the Viper able to kite, run backwards, unless they get a huge reverse polarity out here.
And that's going to be the focus. Get our reverse polarity off. But Magnus now level 14. That means he has a level 4 overpower. In fact, we do see the open wounds coming out on Deft roll here. And there's the wall coming out from Darkseer as well. We're going to see a nice Impale coming out from the Nyx, who has the Dagon as well. Oh, Magnus actually blinked into the fight there. And he's going to get... He manages to get the... bloody hell, my words are going. Reverse polarity off. But again... This is what I was on about. They push in, they lose the fights. They're walking through the wall. The epicenter's coming out of nowhere. And although reverse polarity managed to catch 3 heroes in that fight, one of them was the epicentered Sand King, and he just got wrecked. And his entire team was pretty much dead before that even started. Bounty Hunter used his BKB and got picked up by the Lifestealer pretty much instantly, and the supports just couldn't stand up either. Shadow Demon as well as Nyx.
Yeah, the BKB Gondar went in first, tried to start things off, but then, as you said, that Magnus blinked in, looking for that reverse polarity. Sand King at the same time, both strikes through, started the epicenter. No time for that Magnus to react, no time for the reverse polarity to come out. Only manages to catch 1 or 2 heroes in that. And even then, his heroes around him were dying. TA dying, Bounty Hunter had died long before that. No chance for a follow on top of that RP.
And once again, this with the levels. Remember what I said before the game? One of my friends called Lifestealer a time bomb. It's happening. Now that they've won this fight, they know it's time to push. Lifestealer's the richest on the map right now. He's just going to use Rage and TP out, and they can't stop this. In fact, they used the Shadow Demon ulti on him, interesting enough, but he's going to be in base, so it doesn't really matter. And now, Dench can just fall back to take a tier 2 tower, they win a fight, and then just back off, go back into their base, and wait for the next mistake to come out from Hadoken. Gold now, it's gone back down to 10,000. Interesting enough, it's spiked to 15 for Hadoken now. And XP, only 5,000 advantage, so... Dench are still hanging on, but they're having a lot of trouble.
Well, I'd say their troubles are easing. They were hanging on earlier on in the game where their base was being pressured. They were looking to get into those tier 3 towers, get into destroying those racks. But now, with his Lifestealer, like you said, a time bomb. It's hit the 32-minute mark. He has got items. He's dealing massive amounts of DPS here. If he doesn't have to worry about that TA, if the TA is focusing on other heroes, we did see the Darkseer get picked off early on in that last fight, because the TA just focused on him, even though the wall and vacuum had already been used. expended all of his spells, but the TA still decided he was the focus. He was the main person he wanted to take out. The Rubik, the Viper, the Lifestealer, all able to kite around, deal their damage out on the rest of the heroes from this Hadoken side. And it's going to be rough for them to get into the base now.
But
They've
they're
had their
still going to try.
opportunities. They're still going to try, most definitely.
And interesting enough, Magnus is going very smart here. He's going to go for that Heaven's Halberd. He's got the Sanjay complete, and he's got enough money for the evasion now. And this is to try and stop the Lifestealer. He can try and disarm him, get that evasion up on the Magnus, and he won't die as fast. And he's actually needing level 16, which will be a level 3 reverse polarity. And of course, he does have that level 4 overpower. So that's a bonus of 50% damage coming out from Bounty Hunter as well as Templar Assassin at all times.
But look where the Lifestealer is. He's got no qualms about farming down on his bottom lane, pushing it out, causing problems for Hadoken. They want to go down mid, they really do, but the creep wave goes in for that tier 3, and they cannot go in, because as soon as they do, that Lifestealer's going to TP in, wall's going to come out, vacuum's going to come out, and they cannot breach that base. So back to farming, clear the enemy jungle, try and cut off as much gold as they can, but the Lifestealer continues to push. He is not afraid whatsoever.
People are asking me to just turn you up on the stream. I've got you quite quiet right now, which is the problem. There you go. You guys should be able to hear him clearly now. But yeah, kudos goes out for Dench here, because although they lost the early game so hard, they lost all their terrors pretty much instantly. They've played it so well. And look at that fight going out. He just he wants to TP out, and he actually uses his TP scroll, but then he just goes on War Rider. He says, you know what, screw this, I can kill you. But there comes the shot coming out from him, and that will be the death of Lifestealer. I believe he has money for buyback. He does have money for buyback if he needs it, but he's not going to. Because Hadoken, they have 3 heroes in his bottom lane and not pushing right now.
He could have just TP'd out there, he popped the rage, but he decided, I'm going to turn around and have a go TA. TA pops that meld, no reveal obviously on that Lifestealer, no gem, no dust, no sentries. The rest of his team hanging around in mid trying to defend things off. But I don't know if that was a hasty decision, to say the least.
He got a little bit too cocky. The moment he stopped the TP was the moment that another TP from the enemy team came in, and it was just very unfortunate timing for him. But as well, like you said, he didn't have any reveal. I don't know what hopes he had of killing the Templar Assassin solo. Farah.
Oh, here comes Blinking from the TA, goes on that Rubik, 3 hits and he's down. Sandking wants to burrow strike, but that BKB on that TA causing so many problems. Will they continue diving here? They really shouldn't. They want to take down these towers. Reverse Polarity goes down on that Lifestealer. Viper comes in with the slow. What's Darkseer doing? Pops the wall. Where's the vacuum? Still on cooldown. No one is walking through that wall. Lifestealer doing so much damage to that TA. Finishes him off, and the Bounty Hunter as well. A couple more hits, and there goes the Burrow Strike, even though he was invisible. That Burrow Strike finishes him, and he goes down. So, tail between the legs, Hadoken, Lifestealer really causing them problems.
And Mesmerize didn't get touched in that fight. He was sat at the back, he has his Aghanims, he popped Viper Strike on 2 people, and he just right-clicked. And he did so much damage coming out from the poison damage, while had soaked up as much as he possibly could, and he actually nearly has his Assault Cuirass complete, and in fact he's going to get an Aegis now. But yeah, the actual Darkseer wall, he did vacuum before the wall, but he got stunned by the Spike Carapace, so I couldn't put it down. But the wall positioning was actually quite clever from him. He put it behind the heroes, so if they wanted to escape, they really couldn't. And no, that was a bit of a bad skew coming out from LP, man. Just tried to catch the Darkseer out of position, but he just walks away, not even surging. And has actually taken very low by Roshan here. But Mesmerize is able to tank it up. And this is the nature of Viper. With that corrosive skin, and he's at level 4 now, he can tank so effectively. But they're having to back off because Kara is just spamming that Shadow Poison. And LP Man's there. He's ready. He doesn't have a reverse polarity for another 30 seconds. And Dench should know this. They should be ready to do this Roshan. And they shouldn't have any fears. Especially now that Bounty Hunter just showed himself bottom, as did War Rider. They had plenty of time to take this Aegis. But now, the Sentry Ward is going to see this. But Ryozaki's coming in with the Vendetta. Oh, my mouse is playing up again. And they're going to find Doki. Doki's in a bad position. He doesn't have buyback either. He used it last fight. He does manage to Burrow Strike out, and they know he's coming, but Ryozaki turns around, and it looks like they're going to try and take the Aegis to themselves. Another immortality for War Rider, who does have the Daedalus complete now, of course. Bounty Hunter with that Vlads and BKB as well. They're able to tank this up pretty easy, not lose any health effectively. And we do have that Heaven's Halberd complete now for the Magnus. So we're getting a lot of farm coming out from these players. And Kara even has his mechanism. So the supports find themselves very farmed. Kara's also going for the Force Staff, and he's not too far off that either. That'll be to get away from the Lifestealer, who's going to try and kite him as best as possible. But now they have the Immortality. The question is, do they want to do what they've been fruitlessly trying to do for the last 25 minutes and push into the tier 3?
The thing is, if they leave the TA alone, she's going to do a lot of damage. But if they try and pick off every single one of the other heroes, and TA pops back up after the Aegis is used up, they'll be able to take it down pretty quickly as long as that lifesteal is alive. But they do take that tier 3 down, lifestealer picks up his assault cuirass. So it's really hard to tell. Like you said, this game started off pretty badly for Dench. The early game was ruined by this Magnus and all these rotations coming out from the Shadow Demon, Bounty Hunter, TA, just moving around the map quite effectively, picking off kills here and there, getting triple kills, bringing down early towers, but they just never managed to breach the base. And this turtling power from the Darkseer, which that's what the hero's made for, that's what it was used for months and months. Turtling and turtling and turtling. Throw that wall down, vacuum in. When it used to be even more powerful, when you used to get illusions of your allied heroes as well, there was no way to get into the base. But it has been nerfed. Even so, it's still a very powerful skill. Burrow Strike, obviously, as well. With that epicenter on top, I don't know what they're going to be able to do here. BKB is now down to 7 seconds for that TA. Will they be able to last the fight?
No, Dench don't actually have a mechanism on the team. They have the Assault Cuirass and the Pipe complete on Sadai now. It's going to be so hard for Hadoken to win a fight. There's no tower here. Hadzy's going in on this. Great reverse polarity. Actually catches it at 3. It's going to be instant death of Sanking. And Skewer out coming out for Farah as well as Sadai. And the Pipe's going to get popped a little bit late by Sadai here. But War Riot is going to lose the Aegis. But it's not going to matter. Triple kill coming out from Death Roll, interestingly enough. In fact, the track, it is going down on Hads now. He will go down for Viper. Mesmerize again. He's sitting at the back of the fight, just right-clicking, and nobody's focusing him at all. And Sadai comes back in. Great vacuum coming out. That's going to be the death of War Rider again. And Kara should follow down pretty soon as well. Mechanism popped very late in the fight for him. But Sadai will be able to chase him down. The Magnus is going to be left alone. We do see another Viper Strike coming down, and that will be the death of Kara as well. So once again, another fight. Effectively, they lost 4 heroes, Hadoken, because they did lose the Aegis as well. For the 2 heroes that went down for Dench. Actually, I think the Darkseer died and brought back, did he?
I'm not sure.
Let's have a quick look at his buyback status.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. So he did buy back in that fight. So effectively a 3-for-3 overall. But again, Dench come out on top, and Sadai is just able to try and push down the middle lane. And now it's Dench's turn to try and push. They don't have much time now. In fact, it's probably a bad idea. They are pretty low on health at this point. Sadai is at quarter mana as well as half health. Hads is full, and he's going to be going for most likely a BKB.
But you did mention in that fight, the Viper just sitting there, constantly auto-attacking, just right-clicking with that slow, harassing, not really harassing, just annoying people. They can't move in these fights. They have no mobility whatsoever with that Viper Strike, 12-second cooldown, casting it whenever it comes off. Orb walking, they just didn't touch him. I suppose they really can't. They want to kill that lifestealer, but even he manages to escape with about 300-400 hit points in that last fight. The TA not managing to take him down. But he just gets popped. 3 heroes fall down. Bounty fell down as well. He had to buy back. So that was really a 5-man wipe. Magnus was the only survivor.
Yeah, and for those that are saying the stream's gone a bit choppy in the chat, it is actually my stream, and I will sort it out after this game as soon as possible. I'm going to lower the resolution down to 720 because I am lagging in the fights very badly right now. I didn't stress test this computer enough today. But yeah, I will get that sorted for the next game, I promise you guys. But for now, it's going to be Hadoken attempting to once again push into this tier 3. They do have the tower taken, of course, and now they want to get the racks. In fact, the slow's going to come out on Hads, and the Sentry Ward is instantly dropped there by Doki. And there goes the track on the Darkseer. Interesting blinking by Warrider. LP Man's looking for it. Reverse polarity's up. They want it. They want it badly. An MKB complete on Death Roll. Death Roll actually picked up a triple kill in that fight. He got all 3 kills for Hadoken. And I didn't expect the bounty to be doing this much damage, but he's now level 18. He has the overpower on him, and he has 300 right click, as well as that MKB.
I was about to compliment Dench on their splitting ability. They had all split around in a concave around these racks, so they couldn't get caught in a 5-man RP. But they did start clumping up together, the Rubik, Sanking, and Viper wanting for some reason to have a bit of a hug over there next to these small buildings.
But keep an eye on Farah's position. There goes the Viper Strike out. In fact, we see the open runes coming out on LP Man as well. He's going to blink in a second. Farah is using Refraction, and he does get RP'd onto. Big Burst Strike coming out from Doki here. He does get the Epi off in time, and that's going to be so much damage coming out. Death Roll's going to go down instantly. LP Man, he's getting very low as well. Hads, he's in the middle of the fight. He's chasing down, but Warright again pinged relentlessly by Mesmerize here. Mesmerize does manage to pick off a double kill, and now Hads is once again going to chase on Kara. And again, Hadoken, they just keep throwing with these fights. They don't know what else to do, though. They're trying to push in. They're really trying to get into the base, and they just can't do it. And the ping's coming out for the tier 2 tower on top lane now. We do see Dench just slowly starting to chip away at Hadoken's towers. They managed to take the tier 2 about 10 minutes to go in the middle lane, and they're going to try and do the same on top. In fact, the creeps are naturally pushing anyway, so Doki is going to farm up. And in fact, does he have his Blink Dagger complete? Oh, he does. Blink Dagger complete on Doki.
Finally,
Next
42 minutes in.
Next
Sand King's
epicenter.
like, yes!
He spawned so many sentry wards for his team this game. He's dropping them everywhere on the map.
Top lane, Shadow Demon's actually going to fall. Oh.
Good disruption actually saves him. Just about.
And the Viper goes down to that Nyx.
Yeah, Overset is welcome a little bit too much. We do see a level 2 Dagon up on the Nyx now.
But I did mention about 10 minutes ago when Hadoken keep trying that trap. Yeah, the Shadow Demon illusion's trapped in between the tower. But Hadoken, they've been constantly trying to push in, trying to breach the base. But their first push was pretty decent. They had all their lanes pushed out. They were pressuring each side. They went 5 men into one lane, trying to bring out a fight, tried to get that perfect RP. But in the consequent fights, all of their lanes have actually been pushing back in towards their own towers. So they've been taking more damage than they've been dealing. Their towers have been chipped away by Hads and Co. Well, they've not really got anything done themselves.
And the tier 2 area bottom lane, only down to 167 now. That's a combination of Hads pushing as well as the creeps. And how much would TA like to deny this Terror right now? But 7 HP off. Always the case. Every time I play a pub, I want to deny a Terror is 1 HP. But yeah, so once again, we just see that turtle power coming out. They push in a little bit. They actually lose the Viper, and he's back up in 15 seconds. So if Hadoken want to go in, they've got to be very careful. They have a full health Viper meant to come into the face, and they're just pinging the racks. Let's take these racks. We have 5 seconds to do it. Great vacuum coming in from Sado, actually. Nobody's going to walk through just yet, and Farah is going to get stunned. Reverse polarity coming in on him, but there's the Blink Dagger that came in from Doki. It's only a level 2 epicenter, but it's going to do a lot of damage. And in fact, Hadoken is starting to lose this fight. But Hads, he does manage to pick up the next assassin on the side of play. And now he's in the middle. Death Roll's going to go down. And once again, Hadoken have to leave. In fact, Doki just throwing out dust because why the fuck not? He thought the TA was melded inside the base, but she never was in that fight. She has full mana and full health. In fact, she used BKB, so I'm not sure if she just BKB'd and ran off.
She got mech'd up.
Possibly. Mech'd and mana booted, but I didn't see her in that fight.
On her, so it must be mech'd up. But I don't know about their mana. Suddenly, full mana. Arcanes are used on the Shadow Demon, so I assume so. She was in that fight, but I didn't see her do much damage whatsoever. The RP obviously catching out a lot of people. But that burrow strike into epicenter, I really thought that was going to finish off Hadoken there. Though they do get away, tail between their legs again, running away. Though they did get that melee racks, which was vital. A lot better than their previous pushes.
Boom. Time bomb.
Lifestealer, what's he got?
Heaven's Halberd. And he will get that Abyssal Blade next. There is no doubt. And look at it. Like, Wallright is not going to be able to... Wow. Never mind. I was just about to say Wallright is not going to be able to stop Hads pushing here, and he gets 1 crit meld and destroys the entire wave. So I'm going to put my foot in my mouth and shut up. But Hads is just going to continue to farm. And now we see interesting play coming out from Hadoken, because look at their position on the map. They're no longer sitting in this area. They are just all down here right now. And that's because they're starting to get scared. And they have every right to be. Level 24 up on his lifesteal now. He doesn't have the Midas anymore, which means his net worth has dropped off a little bit. Temper Assassin is still slightly richer. Now having that Yasha complete, we'll be getting that Mantle style eventually, and then the damage will really start coming out from her. But Roshan, still not up. Clearly not timed by Hadoken here. And Mesmerize. What does he have now? He's got his Mantle star complete, as well as that Aghanim Scepter. Of course, Blink Dagger coming out for the Sand King. Darkseid still not having much, just a pipe. But the big question is, what's Had's going to have soon? And poor Farah, he's definitely the definition of ward bitch this game. Double bracer, para treads, and 4 sentries. It's a nice build.
The only thing I'm worried about is this lifestealer. He does not have buyback, so if he does get picked off or killed in one of these engagements, he can't buy back and come into these fights again. But it does have enough staying power as it is to be there, dealing out that DPS. And they actually rotate top to Hadoken.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their obsession is with top this game. It would make more sense if they were pushing bottom a lot more, because especially with Roshan, well, it's just about to spawn any second now. If they win the fight on bottom lane, not only could they take the racks, but they could easily rotate to Roshan. But they just keep wanting to push top, and I'm not sure why. In fact, Doki's actually pinging on Roshan. I have no idea where Hadoken are, even though they're in the creep wave, which is fairly strange. Whether they're trying to snipe off the Roshan, it's questionable, but they've got to be very fast, because Hadoken will take the base. There is eggs and cheese on this Roshan, of course. It is number 3.
There's a Radiant Ward there, they know what's going on. I don't know if they saw the lifesteal ahead in there, but they definitely saw the Sand King come up and de-ward that.
And Hadoken...
solo it. Hadoken are going to go for that racks up top.
And they're going to get this. This is actually a really bad idea by Dench. Roshan's only at half health. They have to get back to the base. They're going to lose their first set of, the second set of racks here. Fortify is coming down, but they're still going for Roshan, and I do not understand why. They are losing their base right now. Yes, they can get the Aegis on the Lifestealer. He's going to TP in, but it's the cost of the barracks. And that is a massive mistake. Hadoken,
Fail.
they get the mid racks, they get the top melee racks, and they just leave. And that, for Aegis and Cheese, that really was not worth it. In fact, Cheese wasn't even picked up, it's still there. As well as somebody's power treads.
What?
They are Lifestealer's power treads.
Of course, he had the TP scroll as well. He had the TP back in.
So he actually dropped his power treads to TP back. Wow.
Smoke up here by Hadoken. What are they going to do with it though? Because you said they've got this obsession with top lane, but now they've taken that melee racks up there. Maybe they will actually rotate.
Sentry. There's a sentry. They've been spotted. They are right next to the sentry ward.
It's unfortunate for them.
Yep. So Mesmerize as well as Dench, they're just not going to get caught. And yep, Defroll's just going to show himself. And again, another sentry here. This is what Farah's been doing all game. Look at his inventory now. I'm guessing he's got a couple in there. Yep, he's got 4 more sentries. He's just placing them everywhere. Really playing the support role so well this game. And oh no! Oh, the cheese is gone. When did Hads get that? Did he pick it up?
Someone pick it up.
He got his power treads back, and the cheese is actually on Viper. So the courier went down and grabbed the cheese as well as the power treads there. Very interesting choice to leave your power treads on Roshan and go fight.
Well, what else could he
Certainly
drop?
questionable.
Halberd, Basher, Armlet, Kuras, TP Scroll, and Aegis. He had to drop the treads.
That's very true. Might even be worth skipping out the... Actually, no, that's a really bad idea. What am I saying? I was about to say buy boots of travel and be able to just do that split pushing, but not having power treads on Lifestealer isn't exactly effective.
Well, at one point he may want to do that, sell those treads once he's gotten his Abyssal Blade up and buyback available. He might go for those travels to try and push out a lane if they really are in that position, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. And here they come down his bottom lane. Is this the first time they've pushed down bottom lane since that first run in 5 minutes?
This is the first time
Tier 1 and Tier 2?
I've seen them pass bottom river since minute 7. That is not a joke. This is actually the first time since minute 7. And from what looked like was going to be a 20-minute game, we're actually 50 minutes in now. And, well, what was actually stolen there by Farah? The vacuum is great by Darkseer. And it actually picks up Ryuzaki. And once again, a massive epicenter. It's not going to do that much damage, though, because the mech charge did go out. And Ryuzaki has to use Vendetta to get out. And once again, the ulti coming out just to try and slow him down. In fact, I think Farah has TA traps right now. No, he's got track. Ooh. Farah actually managed to steal track for that fight. He didn't manage to track anybody, but nobody went down.
The question is, what cooldowns are left on that Radiant side? There's still RP, there's still BKB on the TA, there's still all of these spells up. Vacuum and Wall were used though. So, there's not that big turtling power, Burrow Strike and Epicenter, obviously were used in that fight just now. What's going to happen? Are they going to try and push in? Because that turtling power is going to end once that wall falls.
There is 20 seconds to Vendetta as well as Purge come out from the Shadow Demon and Nyx Assassin. In fact, we see all these illusions coming out now. Mesmerize using his own to try and counter push, and TA using us to try and get in. And once again, the problem is now that Dench, I really don't know what they were thinking with the Roshan. They just did not have as much time as they thought, and they lost the melee racks, and now they're really going to struggle. If Hadoken can get his melee racks in bottom lane, it's pretty much going to be GG, and the tower's actually only on 70 HP. At this point, it's probably worth denying.
Yeah, it really wasn't worth the trade there, going for that Aegis and Cheese just for that melee racks and tier 3 at top. Detrimental at least. And here they are still pushing down this bottom lane, just slowly chipping away. If they stay on the high ground and soft pushed in here, if they had necro units or some kind of minions or summonables, they would be sending those up onto the high ground as well, chip away at this tier 3 tower, push in slowly, but unfortunately they don't. They have track to try and keep giving vision, that shadow poison trying to do the same. And they're going to try and look for one of those big blink to RP.
Oh, Ryuzaki caught completely out of position. He's going to manage to get the spike carapace off, but he will go down. And the epicenter coming off, it's absolutely huge. This was the problem that Hadoken were having. They took so long to get this push going again. The epicenter came back up, War came back up. Well, right out, he's actually going to get away from this one. But once again, Hadoken, they lose 2 heroes for the cost of nobody. But look at the base, look at the base. We have Sadai here, he's there defending in the top lane. But there goes the range racks in the middle. In fact, range racks have gone on both lanes. So now it's a 2 mega creep lane push coming out from
It took them
Hadoken.
too long to start pushing in, but maybe that was their plan. Just sit here, soft push in this bottom lane, maybe not take the melee racks at bot. Just let mid push, let top push. They did have both of these lanes pushing in for once. Smart idea there. Get those ranged racks down, it gives them that extra bit of momentum from that DPS from those range creeps.
Had still has Aegis for just over 1 minute now, and the Cheese is still on Viper, so Dench really took no damage in that fight, and I believe their kills were tracked. Well, Farah actually has Shockwave now from Magnus. Most likely,
Steal RP, obviously.
yeah. That epicenter was so big coming out from Doki. He's actually level 17 now, so these supports are really getting those levels up. And if you have a look at the net worth, although TA's on 20,000, Lifestealer's not far behind. And still nothing new. He actually did buy Boots of Travel. Wow, I'm fairly surprised on that. So Hads is losing a fair amount of attack speed from that. But if he wants to, he can now split push, and that's he probably needs to have Boots of Travel now just because of the double mega creeps coming in.
Yeah, it did look like Dench were holding on for a long, long time there, but slowly getting chipped away. All of these pushes sort of ramboing into their base, getting a couple of kills here and there, eventually taking down these racks over the past 30 minutes or so. A Lifestealer, he does have a lot of gold on him, a lot of items. What is his net worth currently? Let's have a look at that.
Just under 20,000.
Still very close to that TA. They have been neck and neck for this whole game.
When he sold the Midas, he started to fall behind just slightly, but he's having, I'd say, more impact than the Temper Assassin at this point in the fights. TA is having a lot, but I really think Hads is just doing so much more damage. Especially when he has that armlet turned on. Oh, God.
Magnus Disco. Magnus Disco.
Yeah, I tried to do that once in the game. Never did it again. I could do it with Zeus just fine, but with Magnus, I have no reverse polarity for some reason every time we try and fight. But yeah, once again, it's bottom lane push coming in from Hadoken. And what do we have now? We have level 3 Dagon on Nyx, which is fairly strong. Bounty Hunter still has the same items as before. 4 staff now completed on Karis, so he's having the ability to get away. And he's going to make illusions of Temper Assassin.
There goes the tier 3 tower on bot.
Denied by Viper, they just don't want any extra gold going through. And here comes the Shadow Demon illusions. Starting to chip away on the racks.
Is that not Mantisol? Yeah, he's got Mantisol now on that TA.
But that was actually Disruption. So music, yeah, and that's 100 HP instantly ticked off. But of course the regen's a little too high in these melee racks, so they can't just keep on doing that. And now Magnus actually has crit, as well as Hyperstone, so he's looking to go for damage now, which is fairly interesting. I'm surprised that they're not going for the double RP build, but he does also have Power Treads rather than Arcane, so he can't afford double RP. And once again, more TA illusions coming in from Disruption, just trying to chip away at that racks every so often.
Yeah, and the cheese has been transferred over to that Lifestealer.
Yep, I guess that's one off, I'm guessing. Yep. And Roshan, it's still about 3.5 minutes away. And now I think this is the way Hadoken needs to go, and that's exactly what they're doing. The pushes are coming in on both the other lanes, but now Hads is going straight in on War Writer, but the Purge is coming out on Hads, and he's took a lot of damage, uses the cheese instantly. All the BKBs coming out. Great reverse polarity coming out from Magnus, catching 3, and the Epicenter's coming out as well. And Farah actually getting the money to buy back somehow, but still he's the only person to go down. The Shadow Demon will follow, and there goes Hads on Lifestealer, just buy back instantly. We do see Magnus falling as well at the back of the fight, and Mesmerize once again just manages to right click everybody down. Buybacks from Shadow Demon, buybacks from Magnus, Nyx Assassin goes down, buybacks from Lifestealer as well as Farah. Viper, he's had the time to farm. This is the problem. They are focusing so hard on killing Hads that they're ignoring Mesmerize, and the double carry strategy is so powerful. And in fact, War Rider, he's getting caught by Hads here. He just got melded, and Hads has no detection. He really wish he had right now, because this would be the death of TA. But she's just going to TP out, because she's out of vision range right now. But it's just... Hads is able to tank so much. He has 30 armor. He has 2,500 hit points. And Viper, he just sits there and right-clicks every fight. But I really don't know what Dench can do at this point. They are 2 racks down. They don't have the time to push out. And therefore, every time the push comes in bottom lane from Hadoken, their tier 4 towers, they get chipped a little bit more. And there's nothing they can do about it. And as soon as they win the fight, they try and push the 2 lanes that are pushing in. They just don't have the time, because they do that and Hadoken are instantly back on the bottom lane. It's pretty much going into a stalemate game that we could be sat here watching for the next 4 hours, quite possibly.
Well, like you say, Dench are winning these battles pretty convincingly. That Viper doing a lot of damage at the end of these fights, just right-clicking people down. That slow and that Nether Toxin doing a lot of damage to these low hit point heroes after Nyx is finished with them. The Burrow Strike and Epicenter again doing a lot of damage. The mech coming out late because of the Shadow Demon being stunned. Obviously, the pipe doing a lot of work there as well. But these battles, they're losing them. The war, however, don't know who's going to win that.
Yeah, it is interesting, but again, they just don't have the push. That is the big problem. They don't have the push. They don't have the levels up on Rubik.
Look,
Well,
there's
they
4
have
illusions
enough.
from the TA coming through. Disruption illusions, Manta illusions on that melee racks. Bounty Hunter, what are you doing?
He's in there so deep. He uses the BKB, and that's going to be a free kill. This is the time that Dench go out. This is the time that Dench starts to take the advantage. Bounty Hunter completely wasted his life. No buyback. 80 seconds without him. And Farah, he's been surged up. He's looking for a pickup on somebody. He's going to try and find LP, man. He blinks out as well as War Rider. He's got his blink on cooldown for another 7 seconds. And Overkin can catch up. The rage is coming out from Hads as well. But
Shan is up though. This is perfect timing for them.
and everyone's just scattering around. Hadoken seemed lost. War Rider's one area of the jungle. Kara's somewhere else. LP man's still in the river. And the arrows are being drawn here. Ryozaki is just trying to push that bottom lane in further. And now the rotation is coming out. We have people going on Roshan, but we have Mesmerize. He's heading to the bottom lane. He's going to find Ryozaki. And Ryozaki doesn't actually have Invis. Spy Carapace is coming out, but the stun's not going to last long enough. The slow's there on Ryozaki. Blink Dagger coming out from Doki. Sentry Ward goes down, and that will be the death of Ryozaki. But meanwhile, the base...
Dark gets taken down by the TA, and the TA going on these TFO towers. The Dark Tier buys back, comes out here. But there are 3 people from the Hadoken side up here. Aegis and Cheese do go down. The Cheese getting left behind there. Rubik, are you going to go pick that up? Yes. You've got no items whatsoever, but you can have the Cheese anyway. And they do TP back, but that tier 4 tower didn't take so much damage because of that well-timed Fortify. The Darkseer giving his life away there. TA focusing on him, and the Fortify as well, obviously saving things for them.
And that went really well for Dench. They lost Darkseer, but they gained Bounty. They gained Nyx Assassin. They didn't lose anything at the base, and they got that important Aegis up on their heads. Not only is he going to be able to tank with this much health and armor, as mentioned earlier, but he's going to come back and do it all over again. And Mesmerize is just going to rape them. He's going to absolutely destroy them in the back of the fight. And again, the stalemated game. I really need a piss, and I can't go.
What's Mesmerize going to buy, though? He's got 6,000 gold. What do you reckon?
It wouldn't surprise me if you see a heart.
But tank up as much as possible.
Yeah, because he's Viper. He's got a corrosive skin. Look at the attack speed slow, 25%. Gets extra magic resistance coming up on him. Movement speed slow, damage over time. I honestly don't know why he's going to buy that. We already have an AC coming in from Viper, from Nakes even, so that's not needed. And he's going to hold on to money for buyback and possibly get a Rapier.
Possibly Rapier. I hope so.
If he gets a Rapier and they win one fight, the game's over. Dench will win the game. Because it will be so easy for them to push in. But that is very risky. We've just crossed over the hour mark for this game, and it's still going on. Hadoken, they were just so wrapped up in their pushing game. They didn't find enough space to farm early on, and Dench, they've just got so much farm from Hadoken attempting to push into the base that they managed to catch up, and now this game is, I'd honestly say, completely even. It's 10,000 gold, and actually look at the experience graph. That is so interesting. 7,500 going away at Dench now.
It's all of these skirmishes they're having, winning all these little battles, picking off the big heroes, the TA who is out-leveling them, the Magnus, and the Bounty Hunter giving his life away as well. That Life Stealer, level 25 now, he's dealing so much damage. 3,200 gold, 6,700 on the Viper. I think they're just going to save the buyback and see what they can pick up after they come back around.
Not only does he have Aegis still up, but he has buyback just come back as well. So I'm going to keep myself on the buyback stats for this screen. We have Viper, we have Life Stealer, both available to get back in, as well as Sandking. And that's all they need. Meanwhile, there's only TA on the side of Hadoken.
Bounty Hunter just trying to keep vision up here, tracking wherever he can. Darkseer, where are you hiding? Right at the back. He doesn't want to get initiated on. I think it's going to be about 3 hits and he'll die from that Life Stealer. A couple of hits from that Viper, whoever focuses him down. But we do see Bounty Hunter again in the middle of the base.
Magnus, did reverse polarity just miss?
Yes, yes.
Reverse polarity misses everyone. He does get the skewer in, but he's going to get lifted straight away. And what has Rubik stolen here? He actually has Impale. So he's not going to. But War Rider, he's just suiciding for the melee racks. And then look at the creeps. They're going onto the tier 4 towers as well. And oh no, this is really bad for Dench. They're splitting up so hard right now. They're just going for the racks. It's suicide push. Hadoken want the racks. Bounty Hunter's going to die out. P-Man's going to get chased as well. But War Rider is just in the middle lane, and he's going to come in from the side. It will be a death of LP, man. But War Rider, again, he's got... This is the reason he bought a Desolator. I want your racks. I'm going to take your racks.
Heaven's Halberd there showing its worth. Not letting him take that ranged racks down. He could have finished that off with a couple more hits, but Heaven's Halberd obviously not allowing him to hit whatsoever.
And now, how did Dench win? They win the fights, but they have no tier 4s. They have one barracks left, and that is ranged one in bottom lane. They have to do something.
Then triple buyback. Go! Go, everybody!
Heart recipe up on Mesmerise with 7,500 gold.
Magnus buys Boots of Travel, TPs to this bottom lane. He's going to continue pushing here, try and get that range racks down. Are they going to defend? Viper comes around from behind through the secret shop. The Rubik, very, very low man. He's going to head back to base. But Magnus does, in fact, just push out one wave. TA picks off the Darkseer. Does the Darkseer have his buyback?
No, he does not. Not for another 50 seconds, and he's 1,200 gold off as well.
That's very unfortunate.
That was
Darkseer
really bad for him to get caught there.
That is the key for their turtling here if they want to try and defend their throne, which is going to be the next target, most likely from Hadoken. They need that Darkseer wall and vacuum. Viper, he's got his heart up, like you said. He's got cheese, he's got Manta style, but will he be able to do... Oh, here comes the
racks again. They want Mega Creeps, and there's the Halberd. Wall Rider gets stunned, but great RP, they're going to get the racks, and that's Mega Creeps now for Hadoken. But...
Epicenter gets channeled. Will they actually be able to pick anyone off here? The Magnus is going to fall.
Blade Mail up on Sand King.
And there's the Shadow Demon, a couple of hits, and he's down. Nick's wondering, what do I do now?
War Rider and Bouncy Hunter. And Hadoken actually called in the GG, but this isn't where it is over. And as well played. Such an interesting game, actually. Dench managed to turtle through pretty much the entirety, but in the end, they just couldn't stop the push. Desolator came up on TA, the illusions from Manta Star, and that was it. They just got pushed in.
Definitely the Desolator and Manta Style were the key there for the TA, managing to get that minus armor on those buildings, and a Manta Style for the soft push when they wanted to stay on high ground. A Bounty Hunter giving his life away a couple of times, but it didn't really halter the destruction of these heroes. And that was a really good game. Like you said, we thought that would end in about 20 minutes with the way it started off. The early game going very much in the way of Hadoken, picking up a lot of early kills, a lot of early towers, but they do actually manage to drag it on for 63 minutes. Dench doing a very good job at defending their base, defending the throne.
Yeah, great game indeed. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to have the next game up coming up as soon as possible. You will have to restart Twitch in a moment. I'm just going to restart the stream to get the resolution a bit better so I can stream, because at the moment it's choppy as hell, as you guys have noticed, especially during the Epicenter. So just stay tuned. We'll be right back.